Good morning, everybody. Well, good morning to a very cloudy day so far. Hadn't burned off yet. This morning in the Philippines, nice breeze is blowing. Man, that feels really good, at least for this morning. And been a nice overcast. I really hope that sticks around today because the guys have some welding and all they're doing down here in the front and painting on the front gates and all. Man, if that clouds will hold while they're there working on that, that would be really nice. A little top off of coffee here before I head down. Alaska brand. There's only one ingredient in Alaska. Whole milk, the end. You gotta watch when you buy these milks here in the Philippines. If you read it, and it's been reconstituted from powder and fortified and all of that, man, you're not getting real milk. So watch out about that. Really read it. Should be one ingredient. Milk, the end. So while I was gone yesterday, one of the projects I had them working on is putting this wire in on the bottom of our gates here. And you can see it right there done, and he's done it here. And then I want it in on the bottom of the fence right here, on the little walk-through gate right here, and on that little side panel. And the problem we have is roaming dogs that owners just let them run loose from all over. They'll pass right through our gates, especially at night, and they go in our yard, and we can't control it right now on the back side because there's no fence and we haven't finished the little moat across there yet, but we can at least stop them from making this a pathway through here. The next thing they were doing was painting. We had prepped all of this for paint a while back, scraping it down. That's primer right there, scraped down too, and sanding, and we were putting paint on here and getting the gates all repainted. Maintenance, you got to do maintenance. And that's one thing a lot of places you'll see here in the country will be lack of. They haven't done any maintenance. So that's where they'll pick back up this morning is probably be Mock and probably Francis. The guys have just been bagging up this stone and sand. And man, look here, what a dent they've made out of those 2 truckloads, boy. And really knocking it down. We'll have that all prepped back there for when we get ready to do the pours on the walls. Talking about seeding, we haven't worried much about growing vegetables right now because it's just been this El Nino, and it's just so dry. And just look at everything behind me here, man. It's not a good time right now. Of course, we have to water everything like you just seen Melinda doing. And we don't want to pull too much sources off the ground right now because a lot of people need that water, and we don't want to waste it just all on trying to keep everything alive. So we hit the basics and move on. But that's about to change, and we've already had a couple showers now during the night, which is so blissful after going all the way since September, the month of September on forward, with no rains that you could really mention, a little old sprinkle, I think 1 or 2 times out of all those months. But we had a pretty good downpour the other night, just for a while, but even that little while made a difference. And we had a downpour the following night after that. And it looks pretty cloudy today, and it's nice to even see all these clouds moving in. So that's kind of why you see a little gray sky behind me up there right now. So what I've been doing is preparing some pots and all for doing some seeding and getting ready to sprout some stuff out. Now, I don't want to set no confusion here. So let me explain this. If you're wondering what would the confusion be, the confusion would be that James is on what some want to call a carnivore diet. But I'll be really honest, I'm not 100% die-hard carnivore. But I'm pretty close. pretty close. But I do like to eat some onions. I do like to eat some tomatoes. And I do like to have, you know, our basils and stuff like that. I do like the green papaya. Green, no, not ripe. The ripe tastes wonderful, but you're back into just a whole bunch of sugars there again. It's once it's ripe, you know, ripened, it's done turned to most of the sugars. So, excuse me there. But there is quite a few vegetables that I will still eat, so I guess I can't honestly say that I'm just straight on that, you know, meat diet, because I do like to add a few things. Looks good to get these gates started repainting. So right here, I want y'all to meet somebody. It's Aaron, and he's hanging out here with us and spending a week with us here, I guess. Yeah, he booked it a long while back, and he is riding his Honda Rebel around. He's got the back box off right now, but this is his 500cc, right? 500. Yeah, Honda Rebel. And that's what I was telling the video the other day. I didn't even realize that he kind of caught me off guard when he was talking about, you know, this Honda, because I don't know why I have it stuck in my mind, Shadow, but he was talking about the Rebel, and I didn't realize they had ever brought the Rebel back. I thought that was like a past model, and those were real popular about years ago. They sold a whole bunch of them, a small CC Rebel. What was that, like a 200 or 250? Back in the 80s. Yeah, and they were a cool looking little bike. I remember advertisements on TV for them all the time, for the Honda Rebel, the Honda Rebel.
These are in the States.
Yeah.
300 in the States. I haven't seen the 300 here yet. But this started in 2018.
That's pretty cool. So he's going to do a little work to his saddlebags out here this morning. Some little clips right down in here that he's having the kind of spring open and making his bags get loose. So he's going to do a little modification there and maybe borrow the welder while they're welding outside here. So he's getting everything prepped for that. And Miss Mel, of course, she's still doing her watering. And coming up, hey, let's talk about something while we're right here. Sometimes y'all critique too much in the videos. When Mop was pulling these forms on video, y'all seen he used that crowbar and this concrete was fresh and it popped that spot. That doesn't mean nothing. It doesn't mean anything. He stopped, he saw what it did. And these all get tiled over anyway. We're not leaving raw, rough concrete for steps. And we don't finish these smooth. We leave them rough like this for better adhesion, for tiling and all. Don't you see all that tile pops loose in the Philippines all the time? One thing, they don't use proper tile adhesive. Second thing is they'll overwork the top of that surface, and they'll even do what they call a topping. They'll mix just really thick Portland cement with a little bit of sand, real fine powdery sand, and they'll go over, and that's how they try to make a glaze finish over the top of a slab. And that cracks and pops and usually comes up off there eventually, or it just has spider cracks everywhere because so much Portland, it built so much heat when it was going through its chemical process and setting. No good. I told these guys, now this looks rough right now because it's got a lot of slag and stuff from the buckets laying on it, but I told them to do not trowel this, leave it rough. I want it rough, and where they troweled some over here already, I had them take a broom and rough it back up right here, because we want the best adhesion we can get. So this is going to go through a curing phase right now so we can get some strength before we continue on. We technically could probably start forming up some walls on top of it, but we got other things we've been doing. But here it all is. Anywhere you see these steels like that, that's a wall between the rooms, and it's just going to go through a long curing phase right now, and we will work on other stuff. But we will come up here and start doing a little bit of things. We'll start pulling this cocoa lumber. We'll start pulling some shutters off sides of forms here, shutters. We'll start pulling them off, exposing the edges. We want to keep the supports underneath. So now that we've got that big pour sitting curing right now, I'm picking back up on all this small work everywhere, and we're going back to this cabin here again. So let me show you what's happening here around with the cabin right now. So out here at the septic tank, I've got them digging for a lateral line and the leach out, a leach fill. And this sand, it'll really leach down too after it comes out. And we're making our own pipe. So I've got them drilling this Schedule 1000 or Series 1000 pipe, drilling it right now. And then we're gonna go buy a really fine screen that they use up here, catching those little small fish in the ocean. And we're gonna wrap this pipe with that fine screen and stitch it around it so that the sand and stones and stuff and all right here can't go in there and block this pipe. Then back inside the cabin in here, it's time to put in some electrical and other things. So got these boxes just full of light fixtures and electric parts and all. And I've got these two lights here. They came out of our old house down the beach, and they used to be above the sink in the kitchen in the old house. There were several of them. There's another one right over there. And so right here, I've got Joel coming up here, and he's going to make a couple round holes for those lights, and a bed will be here, and this will give that light shining down where the bed is. So he's going to work on that. Then we're going to put a light over into the restroom, probably a couple of them in there, and get it lit up, and we'll figure out what we're going to do over this little sink area here. I might buy a different style light fixture for it because there's not a ceiling here to put one in. I might buy like a little wall type fixture or something to go above it right there. But we need to get back on this room and get it all going. So that's where we're at right now. Is I'm gonna have Joel each day assigned to this stuff. Another thing he's doing, these are for the curtain rod. There's the brackets. He's gonna put up the curtain rod in here. Well, so we're in the afternoon here. I want to show you what got done here. We welded a little panel all the way up right here. Got the bottom one in here, here, and here. And the gates are all painted nice and fresh and shiny. So that's pretty cool. Our guest is borrowing one of my little small cracker box welders here, and he's fixing some tabs here on his bike, on this bracket. They would just clip around right here before, and they were slipping and bending, and he measured where they go, and he's doing a little spot welding those on, and then taking bolts and bolting the bags on there because he's having a problem with, like I say, with these bending. So that's what's happening there on his little project right now on his Rebel. Miller, you're always such a nice fashionista. You're a good fashionista. So I'm going to show here what we're doing too. So we're welding in some GI pipe right here, 3/4 inch GI pipe onto these existing dowels. And we're going to put those fence panels up against it on the outside right there. Wonder how we could seal that to keep the water in the going inside and rusting.
Well, sir.
Huh? I don't know if we weld that much, or should we just take epoxy is what I was thinking, and mix epoxy and fill, get that gap right there also. Yeah.
And then paint.
Yeah. We'll have to do some touch up and stuff on that skim coat and all. Do we have any of that skim coat left? We need to get that loose stuff off right there too. So, oh yeah, there's some steel there. You can get in there and get a dowel in, even if you just, you got to get it straight. Huh?
I put the tube inside. So strong, and then we'll
Yeah, pack some cement in around it. Yeah, that's the best thing to do.
strong.
Yeah, go ahead and cut that double off right there also. And you can have Francis doing it. So we're gonna get these fence panels up right here. It's just been laying. So that's another little project we're trying to finish up. And then down here on our lateral line, we are also working on that. And they're already been covering it up. They've already been covering it up. So we wrapped that in that net. I wasn't here for all of it when they did it, but we wrapped it in this net right here. Very fine, little like a screen. But it's kind of a heavy duty though. And this is, man, that's over a meter wide. Yes, that's pretty wide. That looks like it's, man, that looks like it's 4 or 5 foot wide. And so they rolled it up around it. So it's got more than one layer around it. We put a bed of this gravel down underneath, and then we've put a bed of gravel over the top of it. Joel's got those 2 little lights there, right there, but now we need to find a light to mount in the CR where I can start wiring all this stuff up. So let's look what we got here, Joel. Yeah, buddy, man, you already got a bunch of it done. Heck yeah, man, that's looking good. Well, it's the end of another work day. I'm gonna show you here what they got done. Got all of these pipes put in that's gonna hold those fence panels down on. They had to do a little chipping in to weld into some places to get in there to the steel. Been epoxying, scraping the loose skim coat where these have never been painted, these poles. So skim coat they're gonna retouch tomorrow. So they've been scraping it all off here, getting all the loose stuff. And I got these all the way across right here now. And these is where we're going to stop for now and get these 1, 2, 3, 4 panels in. And that's these plastic coated wire panels right here. So we're going to, at the beginning, I'm just going to put them up there and take those big old fat zip ties and zip tie it up against it. And then I'm going to make me some plastic clips and drill holes through those tubes there and clamp it against those tubes with a plastic clip, because you don't want to be messing up that coating on there or it'll really mess these up. So anyway, that's where we got so far on that. We buried in a lateral line today, got it completely made, done, over with. We got to clean out on the end of it, so if we ever have to go through and flush it out, we can, and we know right where it is. So it just goes right here at the end of this bridge right here, and you can't even see where we did any work. I mean, the sand is blended in, and that's done and over with. Then Joel also worked here, and he's been coating all this bamboo with selenium, which will keep the bugs from eating it. And so he's getting that selenium coating on it, and then we're going to come back over with a coating of that liquid tile over it also, give it kind of like a varnish finish. Now he hadn't done this wall, and you can see the difference in the color because the one that he did is a little darker. You can see the shades right there, but he's worked around all the other sides and up high. He got all those places up high up there. I'll turn on this light while I'm out here, because it won't be long till it'll turn dark. He put the curtain rod in today, so that's all mounted in now. That was another plus. And that's all he got done in there on that. Now, what else did we do? Oh, we'll go look at some more. And we're staging up a bunch of 10mm steel and all here, preparing for when we get ready to start casting our walls up there. We want to go ahead and have some steel on hand. So we got this and we got this. The guys got all of this sand and stone sacked between yesterday and today and transported it back here. They've been taking that topsoil that I bought, and I've got them moving and capping over the top of this clay with topsoil, and get these panels moved. We'll get it squared off out there. Nice little neat area, and I'll be glad when those panels are gone. We start taking up PPR pipe and all today up to the top fittings and everything. So as we get ready to start casting the walls up above, we'll cast in the PPR hot and cold water pipes into the concrete up there at the same time. Miss Melinda cleaned the room here where the guests checked out, and we still have guests in this room here right now. Coming around front, Aaron got his motorcycle bags all redone on his bike here, so he should be good to go on that now. And man, I bet that's going to be much better than it was, a whole lot better. Again, we're just trying to do all these small odds and ends and let that concrete cure and the stuff that we need to finish up anyway. So that's why I always have different projects staged around, and you work the right project at the right time. So there it is, another day in the books. And and Joel worked up there. You can see some plywood up there to the sides of those windows. That's where he's rendering in those sides right now. And with that, I guess it'll wrap up another day. I've been working on other projects which are going to be in different videos than this, so we'll talk about that in those videos, and I'm going to go get back on that right now. So a little progress here every day, and this is kind of how you need to manage a job site, you know, is if you're going to have a crew and they're going to be on payroll, not like now we're waiting for a cure appearing, well, your guys would just be at a standstill. So you always need to have other projects at hand that's all moving towards the same goal. Yeah, look at them fingers, black paint. That's all moving towards the same goal, and to get that ball to the finish line. So that's how we do it here. It all moves forward to the same goal post. Everybody take care, God bless, and we'll see you on the next one.